Hi there everyone, I'm the guy with no gamer tag, and today I wanted to talk about aim assist. And the reason I want to talk about it is because I feel that it may not even need to be involved in first-person shooter games anymore. This is obviously a console discussion, this isn't a factor on PC unless you're hacking, and it's something that a lot of us have gotten used to playing with. When we first got into shooters, this was a feature. I remember back in Modern Warfare 2, in the campaign specifically, the aim assist was turned up to 11, but in multiplayer games generally it was okay. However, in more recent titles, games have become very reliant on aim assist, and it is very invasive. I found that in games like Advanced Warfare, and then also in other franchises in Battlefield 4, I found the aim assist way too strong. I would find that I'd be aiming down a line of sight, you'd be looking right at an enemy, you'd start firing, and then their teammate runs behind them, and the aim assist locks on and sticks to them, and drags your aim off the target you were shooting at. It's moments like that which made aim assist really frustrating. But to be honest, I'd never experienced anything without aim assist, so I kind of just adapted. In fact, in Battlefield 4, I actually completely turned aim assist off because I found it way too invasive, and I just did not want to play using it. But that obviously leaves you at a huge disadvantage. If you can actually feel the aim assist dragging your aim, you know that it's a really powerful tool for those using it, so you know you're putting yourself at a huge disadvantage. And it means that when you're on a day where you've got bad aim, you don't have that safety net. And that's probably the reason why aim assist exists. For the players that don't have the greatest aim or are having a bad day, it gives you a little bit of a safety net so you're not getting curb stomped the entire time. And then eventually came along Rainbow Six Siege, a competitive game which when you play online you have to have aim assist turned off. It's turned off for everyone, so no one gets an advantage on other players by using it. This means that when you have a bad day and your shot's off, you feel it. You really will struggle to take people out, and you will have to then start to outthink your enemies if you want to actually get kills. But equally well, when your shot's on and you can make some crazy plays or get an insane flick shot, it feels very satisfying and very rewarding. It does take a little bit more skill to learn. You do have to get used to the actual movement and sensitivity mechanics of the game. That's one thing I definitely found difficult in my first year of playing it, was just adjusting to the sensitivity, because it does feel very different to any other shooter. But it's a game that I've really enjoyed coming back to, even though you do have this inherent handicap from the start. You're never handicapped against other players, but when you're not used to it or you're not quite ready for it, it does become and feel quite difficult. But the reason I finally wanted to discuss aim assist and why I think it maybe could be done with even being removed is for this particular clip in the background. Now this is a clip from the current Call of Duty game. As you can see, this player's aim was dragged by aim assist so that they could get the kill onto me. As far as I'm concerned, this person was AFK. They didn't look like they were really responding to anything that was happening in the game, but the game dragged their aim onto me and kept sticking to me despite me running past them, and they were able to get a free kill. Now, aside from the fact that my awareness was clearly not good, I didn't check the corner, that's irrelevant from this discussion. What I'm trying to highlight is that this player debatably shouldn't have had that kill. Yes, they probably would have been able to move their aim themselves and actually kill me, but they didn't have to. The game did it for them. It stuck their aim onto me and just let them hip fire me down. They didn't have to do anything except press a single button. It required zero skill, and it meant that I never had a chance to retaliate because the game did all the work for this other player. This is why I think aim assist could be done with being removed. It just gives people an unfair advantage, and in certain situations will absolutely change the outcome of a gunfight. How many times in games with aim assist have you ended up in close quarters and all of a sudden, for some random reason, the aim assist sends your aim to the floor? You have no control over it, you're trying to fight it, but you can't do anything, and it just shoves your aim down to the floor and you can't do anything. I quite like the game Apex Legends. For the most part, you don't notice the aim assist, but when you get into really close quarters, you've got a downed player right in front of you, you can feel it dragging your aim down to look at that downed player, and occasionally that can lose you a game, and it is very frustrating. Now, obviously, the counterpoint to this is that aim assist is a very useful safety margin if you're not having a good day or your aim generally isn't that great. Now, for some people, like the competitive aspects, would say that they don't think it should be in the game at all. But equally well, when you're on the receiving end, it does suck when you don't seem to be able to take anyone out because you've gone full potato with a side of fries. So for me personally, if aim assist is going to continue to be included in multiplayer shooter games, it needs to be toned down a lot. I don't want my aim to be sticking to someone and being dragged across the screen. I don't want someone's teammate 50 metres away to run across my screen and my aim to track them without me having to do anything. I can understand aim sticking onto targets a little bit, quite frankly, it doesn't need to be anywhere near as strong as it is, because it's giving players kills they shouldn't be getting, or at least it's making it so they don't have to earn it at all. It's doing most of the work for them. And to me, that just takes away the spirit of any kind of competition. And that's part of the reason I enjoy Rainbow Six Siege and the level playing field it provides. You know it's all down to your own skill. It's all down to whether you can aim at the enemy and you can beat them in that fight. You don't have to think, oh, it was aim assist, oh, it was this, oh, it was that. It's simply down to what you do as the individual. And to be honest, I think that's how games need to be. I understand that catering to new players is very important from a business standpoint, but at the end of the day, games don't want to become too simplified and too dumbed down. When things get dumbed down to that kind of level, it's no longer fun to play. It's not fun to learn things. And the reason why Siege has been successful, it always forces people to learn new things. There's always a new trick. There's always something you can improve in your own gameplay. And that's why people stick around. And so I hope in the future that the use of aim assist in video games is reviewed, because it doesn't need to be anywhere near as potent as it is currently. But I'm interested to hear what you all think on this discussion. Obviously, for those of you on PC, it's not going to be as applicable, but for the rest of you console players, what do you think of this? Do you think it needs to stay around? Do you think it needs to go? I personally don't think it needs to be in player versus player modes, but that is just my own opinion. Anyway, I do hope you've enjoyed this video. I've been the guy with no gamertag, and I'll see you on another video.